Welcome to Flipped Classroom. Today's lesson is on the ethical appeal of ethos. What is ethos? Ethos means character in Greek. It's how you build the reader's sense of fairness and trust. You want your reader of your argument to believe the source and have faith in his credibility. So you would include experts in the field, such as doctors, lawyers, scientists, or even priests, depending on the subject matter of your essay. It's very important to establish credibility with your audience. Here's an example. Let's pretend you're writing an argument about, should I drink the water? Well, your essay would want to identify local doctors or scientists or experts in environmental sciences to be able to answer that question. Well, what happens without ethos? The answer is your argument will fall flat. Your writers will not take you seriously. For example, let's say you're questioning, should I buy this car? And you rely on the advice and opinion of this used car salesman. Though you shouldn't judge someone on appearance, you would want to look at this salesman's qualification and knowledge of automobiles before you take his information seriously. How to include ethos in all your essays? Well, first you need to add experts and always cite your source. This will help you establish a rapport with your readers. Also, it's important to use appropriate language. Avoid slang. For example, if you're writing about the water issue, you wouldn't want to say, well, I'm going to get me some water. Okay? Gonna, get me, wrong verb tenses, slang. That makes you sound less credible when you do not speak in standard English. You also want to avoid overly elevated language, trying to sound smarter than you really are. For example, instead of saying, I want to drink the water, you'd say, as I acquire a sip of the H2O. That sounds too phony and will also diminish your credibility with your readers. Always use precise, clear, appropriate tone. In order to know what tone to use and what language to use, you have to know your audience and their expectations. Are you speaking to a group of kindergartners? Are you speaking to a group of people in the medical field? Or in this case with our essays, you're speaking to high school students and a high school teacher. You will be using ethos in your Superpower essay. Your expert in that case will be Sam Fernayo, the author of Everyday Heroes, 8 Real Superpowers Everyone Has and Some Take for Granted. You're going to use his definitions of superpowers. To do this, you're going to make sure the story that you include in your essay matches his definition. For example, if the superpower you're writing about is endurance, have a story that includes a time you persevered through a hardship. Remember, your alternatives to ethos are pathos, the appeal to emotion, and logos, the appeal to logic. It's great to use a combination of all three. Thank you for joining me today in Flipped Classroom.